The region's offering big game of the week as chosen by the fans took us to Kirby, where it was region rivalry time between the Cougars and Jaguars. Kirby came to the contest boasting a high-powered offense led by two-time primetime performer of the week, DRAYLEN ELLIS at quarterback. His stats off the charts in the first 3 games, but on this night, the Jaguar defense playing no games. The Kirby air attack met with resistance all night. That led to an opening punt that pinned Southwind on its 1-yard line.
Get that sight for me! Get that sight for me! Go!
Kirby! I need a safety.
The Kirby sideline looking for a safety, but what they ended up seeing was a close view of a Chris Kelly pass sailing right past them and the Cougars secondary into the hands of Caleb Spann, who went 95 yards for the touchdown. The 7-0 lead had Coach Flowers and his offense trying to regroup, but not only was the Southwind defense a problem, so were the penalties. The Cougars' forward progress kept getting backed up for much of the first quarter with multiple flags, and Southwind just kept taking advantage. The quarterback sack deep in Kirby territory was a theme as the Jags pressured the Cougars the entire first half. And in the second quarter, they pressured them into a crucial mistake. The interception led to an easy touchdown as the Jaguars stunned the home crowd with a 14-0 lead. Fast forward to later in the quarter, the Cougar offense desperate to get something going before the half. They finally found some space without the penalties as Ellis led the passing attack into Southwind territory. The coach Slocum and that defense intense, coming up big when they had to with another sack on Ellis. Kirby had a chance to at least go for 3, but instead they just went for it. Southwind didn't. And the Jaguars were one of the top performances of the weekend, 20-0, knocking the Cougars from the ranks of the unbeaten and now the Grade A Power Poll for the first time this season. And the win put Southwind right on the doorstep of the Grade A for the first time this year. Again, a very impressive performance. They could be in if they continue to win. The Mustangs still at the top with a blowout of Arlington. Whitehaven bounces back with a win against South Haven. Briarcrest continues to roll past the competition. They beat up St. Benedict. Covington moves to the number 4 slot. They steamroll Martin Westview. MUS drops a spot to 5 after losing to NBA. Fairley moves up to 6. They'll play the Owls this week. At 7, Prep moves up after a big region win over Middle College, and ECS slides back into the poll after shutting out their second conference opponent with a 38-0 win over North Point. Elsewhere, back to region games and back to rivalries. Fairley and Mitchell going head-to-head in 2A. Bulldogs about that action. KODY Jones, like that old Timex watch, he took a licking and kept right on ticking. Jones won't be denied. And it was that kind of night for Fairley. They couldn't be stopped. No way, no how. Terry Wilkins getting his turn, and he was bringing the same kind of determination, breaking tackles and breaking the hearts, perhaps, of the Mitchell faithful. Wilkins taking it all the way. Bulldogs led 20-0 at the break. Second half, different quarter, same story. All Bulldogs, 34-zip. Now to our primetime performer of the week. FACS quarterback Cole Putnam was a dual threat machine in week 4. The senior lit up Oak Haven with 5 total touchdowns. He came into that game fired up after losing the week before.
We prepared for them all week, and we knew that we were ready to bring it to them, get off that tough loss, and we were just ready to fight, throw down.
The Crusaders threw down, putting up 60 points. Cole threw down with 3 passing touchdowns and 2 on the ground, both runs over 50 yards.
That was one of my better games I've had in a while. And I've felt like my players and my teammates, they did all their jobs and we just made our plays. It means a lot that they took their time and voted for me. And it's just really pleasing that people are out there supporting me. I feel accomplished. Well, I'm ready to get some more.
Congratulations to Cole Putnam, our primetime performer of the week. Here's a look at who got busy in week 5. More great quarterback play. Ethan Byrne lit it up against Arlington. Mitch Austin scored the game winner against White Station. John Jones went big against Craigmont. Josh McMorris helped Kip to his first win of the season. In the run game, Jalen Greenwood continues to tear it up for ECS. Al Wooten had a great game with 4 touchdowns. Braden Plant showing up against TRA. And in the receiving game, Tavin Davis doing his thing on offense and defense for Lausanne. in a win. When we come back, highlights of the 1A showdown between Freedom Prep and Middle College right here on Inside the High School Game.
Hey, you've been off all day.
I got a notice from the bank yesterday. I'm gonna lose the house.
I was in that same position a few years ago. All I did was call the Reeves Law Firm and they handled the rest.
Reeves Law Firm, let us be your voice.
Welcome back in. You're watching Inside the High School Game. Freedom Prep made their way to the grade 8 poll last week by shutting down all opponents, and they were at it again against conference foe Middle College. The Eagles up 21-0 in the third quarter, and the offense had more to come. Jordan Martin, good game on the ground. Good game through the air. Martin, a touchdown pass to Anthony Walker. 2-point conversion was good. 29-0 Freedom Prep. And they were trying to keep their shutout streak alive. Hadn't given up a single point all season long. And they were well on their way to doing it again. In the meantime, the offense kept adding to the lead. KODY Tate over 100 yards rushing again. Same drive as Martin back to the air. And as the Eagles back to the end zone. Touchdown Freedom Prep. They led 36-0. Late in the fourth quarter, all they needed was one last stop to seal their 5th straight shutout on the season. But on the last play of the game, Middle College didn't get the win, but they stopped the streak. Joyner Stevens on the receiving end. 1 second left on the clock. The first points given up all year, giving Prep the bittersweet 36-7 win.
It hurts for the kids because I know the hard work they put in. I know the challenge they was up against. They was getting up for the shutouts. So it kind of hurted to see that they wasn't able to accomplish one of their goals. But me being the coach is on the next week. We got the win. So it's a conference win. It's a big win. So we on the next week.
All right, this is going to wrap it up for another week of Inside the High School Game. As we leave you, take a look at some of the scores from around the area.